This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us. Our top story, the Dow Jones Industrial Average plunging nearly 1,200 points today, a loss of more than 4.5%.
It's the biggest point drop ever in a single day. ABC7's business commentator Richard Stern joining us now with more on today's steep declines. Richard?
Well, I have to tell you, I got this gray hair the old-fashioned way. You know, I've kind of seen this before. Those of us who've been on Wall Street for any length of time have seen days like this. I grant you the numbers are much bigger. And to put it in perspective, as we said, the low of the day was minus 1,598 points. Think about that. We lost 4.6% value. We've lost all the gains for the year for the Dow and the S&P. The NASDAQ is barely positive. And what was it all about? A whole lot of selling. Yes, interest rates are a little bit higher, but mainly it was a lot of selling. Reminded me in many ways very much of the October 1987, the day I started on ABC7. And again, to put that in a frame of reference, 22% was the drop on that day. Today, 4.6. So it's not time for panic. There are probably a few bargains out there, and we'll see if we can help you find them. Let's take a look at the numbers, and indeed, record-setting they are. Look at that, 24,000. Remember the 26.5 we were at not long ago? 24,345.68, a loss of 1,175.28 points, 4.61% on heavy volume of 989 million shares. There's the NASDAQ, down 273 points, below 7,000 at 6,967.53, down 3.8% on extraordinary volume of 2,327,000,000 shares. And the S&P, of course, that should be a down arrow. That's my fault. Down 113 points, 2648.96, a loss of 4.1%. Well, it wasn't exactly a walk in the park for Wells Fargo today either. Wells Fargo has had its series of problems, and Janet Yellen, who spent her last day at the Fed on Friday, really gave them a knockout punch. She said, and ready for this, she said that Wells Fargo was guilty of, quote, widespread consumer abuses. They had persistent misconduct, and as a result, she has hit them with a cease and desist order, which bottom line means the bank cannot grow its assets until they get clearance from the Fed. Exactly when that may come about, I don't know, but certainly they've had a tough year, and they were down 9% today. Now, we've been talking about these conversations that we've been having, and believe it or not, we might have a whole lot to talk about Thursday. This week's conversation is Thursday morning at 10. We don't have a PowerPoint presentation, nothing planned, just whatever you want to talk about. So we'd love to have you come, sternbear.com, or call 906-2847. Again, 906-2847, an open forum. Just sit across the table from each other and see exactly what it is that we can talk about. And right now, we've got a lot to talk about.
We sure do, and I think a lot of people are hoping maybe for some stability tomorrow in the market. What are you expecting for tomorrow, Richard?
Well, it's awfully hard because you've got emotions involved at this point. It certainly could open lower based on the momentum we've seen, but at some point we're going to see some buying come in. You know, I'm in a unique business. When the price goes down, people run away. When things are on sale, you're supposed to run and buy it, right? So we'll see, but it'll be another interesting couple of days. Scott, nice shirt and tie.
Yeah, we looked good today. All right, Richard, thanks so much for the update.
You're welcome.
Amazon delivery drivers are entering homes when they're not supposed to. The online retailer offers in-home deliveries through its Amazon Key program.
But two local customers who are not signed up for the program say it happened anyway over the weekend. ABC7's Adam Cellini joins us live from Lido Key at a home where residents say this happened twice in 2 days. Adam?
Yeah, Scott and Jacqueline, good evening. The couple that lives in this home is still putting a couple finishing touches on it. So during the day, sometimes they'll leave the front door unlocked for construction workers to go in and out. And as you can maybe see back there, there hasn't yet been a doorbell installed. But over the weekend, they found two different strangers inside their home trying to deliver these packages from Amazon. Two local Amazon customers got an unexpected thrill this weekend, delivery drivers entering their homes.
I got a call from ADT asking me if everything was okay because my alarm was going off at the house.
Brendan McDowell's doorbell camera captured this video on Friday of a man walking up, unlocking his door with a code, and then leaving the package inside and the door unlocked. The problem? McDowell doesn't have Amazon Key, the service that allows drivers to do this.
We found out there was a code linked to my account for an old gate at a community I lived in, which is the code I ended up using for the door.
Furious, he called Amazon and they helped him remove that code. But a day later, down in Sarasota, Michael Lentini came face to face with a delivery driver on the 3rd floor of his home.
That's where the guy came out of, and I'm over there. And he looks at me and I'm like, what are you doing here? Who are you? I mean, there's a stranger in your house. How do you react to that? You kind of jam up because you don't know what's going to happen.
Lentini called police and Amazon Logistics, who said an area supervisor would take care of it. But a day later, it happened again.
He doesn't have any vest on. He doesn't have any ID. He's just some stranger walking through my house.
Amazon sent us this statement with regard to these incidents, saying we are working directly with the customers to investigate and will be addressing any findings with the delivery personnel.
There's a lot of different things that could have gone wrong, like if I had a big dog or something, or I know a lot of people, you know, they're protecting their homes, they have guns. Like there's just different variables. A lot of things could have happened.
Now, Amazon reached back out to Lentini today and said that they are trying to arrange a site visit to his home to try and iron out any issues in the future with delivering packages, hoping to permanently solve this problem with the people that they employ to deliver these packages. Live in Sarasota, I'm Adam Cellini. Scott and Jacqueline, back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you so much. You know, we have other issues when they leave the packages on the doorstep and then they get stolen.
I know.
So there should be some sort of a happy medium here for everyone. Yeah.
I agree.
All right, let's get a check on our weather now. So we started with some fog this morning. Let's find out what the conditions are like right now with Bob Harris.
Yeah, here's that fog right now. You see it's very thick. This is the Lakewood Ranch webcam showing visibility is down to less than a quarter of a mile. We had fog advisories in effect, and then those who expired after 9 o'clock. You see that fog breaking up around 9, starting to lift a little bit as the ground heated up. The dew point temperature kind of spread further away, and that caused the fog to burn off for the most part, revealing a lot of sunshine this afternoon. And boy, some warm temperatures are back with us. 76 degrees right now. The dew point at 57. Winds out of the east-northeast at 9, and the pressure still way up there, 30-14. Evening planner looks good. Temperature 60 degrees at 11 o'clock. We'll see generally fair skies up until 11 o'clock. After midnight, the fog will start to roll in again as the temperature cools down, and you'll see that fog really thicken up just in time for your commute. So it could be rather thick going in places now. It will be patchy, thick fog, and so more than likely advisories will be necessary by the National Weather Service to be issued for reduced visibility. But by 10 a.m., most of the fog will have burned off, and we'll see a repeat performance with warm temperatures tomorrow, highs in the upper 70s. We'll let you know if this warm weather will continue coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. Manatee County Sheriff's deputies are investigating after a fatal overnight shooting in Palmetto. It happened on 33rd Street East, and when deputies arrived, they found 2 people had been shot. One man was already dead, while another was taken to a nearby hospital. He is expected to survive. A neighbor who knows the 2 people involved said he was surprised to hear that this happened.
They're good people, as far as I know. Yeah. Well, we've been here about 10 years living, right together, back to back, but I never heard him, really getting in trouble or anything.
Detectives say they have a suspect in the shooting, but no one has been charged.
New information in an ongoing homicide investigation in Northport. Today, the Northport Police Department and Sarasota County Sheriff's Office were working with their underwater recovery force to check a waterway along Biscayne Drive. The search is in part of the investigation into the death of Trent Bartle Thomas. One arrest has been made, but Northport police believe others are involved.
To come out here and search this body of water behind me here, it was important. We're still trying to get a lot of facts and details together about this homicide we had back earlier in January, and doing some due diligence out here, making sure that there's no evidence that was thrown in this waterway.
Police say nothing was found in the water today. The investigation, though, is ongoing.
Sarasota police arresting 2 people attempting to break into cars near the Publix on Wood Street in Sarasota today. The 2 suspects had dogs with them. One of the dogs bit a Sarasota police officer. That officer is expected to be okay. The 2 people were arrested and the dogs were taken by Sarasota County Animal Services.
Florida Forest Service is offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of the arsonist responsible for starting more than a dozen fires Sunday. Today, those fires are considered suspicious. 13 in all were reported to Charlotte County Fire and EMS Sunday. Deputies say 2 young teens riding in an older 4-door red vehicle may be responsible for setting the fires, which were all along El Jobin Road. Florida Forest Service workers say just this month alone, there have been 20 fires and 19 of them are suspicious.
So far, since January 1st, the activity has increased dramatically. We're at 40-some fires since the beginning of the year. And just to give a frame of reference, we had 8 this time last year. And we also go back to 2013 when we had 24. So we see a big uptick on wildfire right now.
Anyone with information is urged to call the Florida Division of Forestry. Remember, you can stay anonymous with your tip. Still to come tonight on your Suncoast News, the 3rd trial for former gymnastics Dr. Larry Nassar ending today. How the fallout from this case will continue.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus a look at the symptoms that could be a sign of thyroid problems.
The ABC7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
My name is Stephen Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in an accident, whether or not it's your fault, your insurance company might be responsible for some of your expenses. So give us a call. We've got your back.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking a multimedia local sales manager. Strong new business, digital, and OTT background required. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Days of emotional testimony in 2 Michigan courtrooms are wrapping up with a final sentence for former sports doctor Larry Nassar.
Today, Nassar apologized in court, but the judge told him she is taking away his freedom so he can never harm anyone again. ABC's Elizabeth Herr has the story.
Former sports doctor Larry Nassar apologizing.
It's impossible to convey the depth and breadth of how sorry I am to each and every one involved.
After dozens more of his victims confronted him in this Michigan court last week.
You know, I feel like this definitely is a chapter that's closed, but I still definitely feel like there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
But the judge making certain Nassar will spend the rest of his life in prison, sentencing Nassar to up to 125 years. The 54-year-old was already sentenced last month in another Michigan jurisdiction to 40 to 175 years for similar conduct, and prior to that, to 60 years for federal child pornography crimes.
I feel like I can finally move on and move forward with my family.
The number of women accusing Nassar of sexual assault now more than 250. This as a troubling new report emerges about the sex abuse scandal in gymnastics. The New York Times claiming Nassar first came under FBI scrutiny in July of 2015, but it wasn't until September of 2016 that Nassar's habitual molestation became public in an explosive investigation by the Indianapolis Star. During that time, the New York Times says Nassar victimized as many as 40 more gymnasts. The FBI responded with a statement which read in part, the magnitude of allegations brought against Mr. Nassar transcended jurisdictions, and we worked with our law enforcement partners. Elizabeth Hur, ABC News, New York.
For the third time in less than 2 months, an Amtrak crash became deadly. Sunday, a passenger train mistakenly diverted to a side track and collided into a freight train. The Amtrak train was traveling from New York to Florida. Federal investigators say a railroad track switch locked into the wrong position, diverting that train to a side track where the freight train was parked. The crash putting nearly 120 people in the hospital and killing an Amtrak train engineer and conductor. The Amtrak train did not have positive train control. That's a system which combines GPS, wireless radio, and computers to stop trains from colliding, derailing, or speeding.
Positive train control is designed to prevent 4 types of accidents, and this is exactly one of those 4 types of accidents that it is designed to prevent.
This is the latest deadly incident involving an Amtrak train. In December, a train derailed near DuPont, Washington, killing 3 people. President Trump says a Republican memo vindicates him from the Russia probe, but some Republicans are saying not so fast. President Trump waging a campaign against his own Justice Department, accusing them of bias in the Russia investigation. He's basing these attacks on a memo released by congressional Republicans last week. That memo claims that the FBI obtained a warrant to spy on his former campaign aide, Carter Page, based on a dossier funded by Hillary Clinton's campaign, but not all Republicans are buying it.
So you don't agree with President Trump when he says this vindicates him in the entire Russia investigation?
I don't. Bob Mueller should be allowed to turn over every rock.
Democrats on the Intelligence Committee are vowing to release a counter memo. President Trump would have to okay the release if it contained classified information.
Well, once that fog kind of burned off this morning, it turned out to be a very pleasant, nice day outside.
It sure did, and we had some great weather on Saturday. Sunday, for the most part, was fine. Rain came, and then the Super Bowl was on, so everyone was watching the Super Bowl, and that was a great game, too. It was unbelievable. We are looking at some really nice weather. The only downside will be the fog. We talked about that earlier in this newscast. Here's a look at the Van Wezel webcam this morning. As we saw the fog, boy, it was thick this morning, and that's the reason why they had the dense fog advisory issued by the National Weather Service, as visibility's dropped below a quarter mile in a lot of areas. And then this afternoon, sunshine, some high clouds ripping on by, should make for a gorgeous sunset once again. That front is now, for the most part, washed out. Boy, it brought some heavy rainfall, though, over an inch in some areas, a little bit more so to our north. We have another system, a fast-hitting one, coming down, but it's not going to have much of a chance of getting here. The front will fall apart. Gives us about a 20% chance for a shower on Wednesday. Temperatures currently not bad, 69. Out on the water is obviously a little cooler as you're nearing that water temperature of 63 degrees. But away from the water, 75 in Venice, Northport the same, 1 degree warmer in Mayaca City, and 75 in Sarasota, 74 now in Punta Gorda. It's 76 at the Sarasota Bradenton Airport, and the dew point temperature is up there, 57. Winds out of the east-northeast at 9, the pressure 30-14. And the forecast for tomorrow, it should read, is looking pretty good into the upper 70s throughout our area. So once again, another gorgeous day in store. Although we will see the fog around. It could be rather thick, as I mentioned. Here comes the front on Tuesday morning, moving through the lower Mississippi Valley. You'll notice, though, doesn't do a whole lot. It just kind of falls apart, stays there, and then a bigger system tries to pick it up and whip it through, but it too weakens as it makes its way in our general direction. I think the fog will be the big issue, I think, over the next several days here in the morning. Some of that fog becoming rather thick at times. That's tough for commuting, obviously, and also for flights going in and out of Sarasota and also into Tampa. Well, across the U.S., we have this large area of high pressure which continues to build in now over the southeast, and this is really providing us with that easterly wind flow, and that east wind tends to warm us up and a little bit more southeasterly as we approach the weekend. I would not be surprised to see some 80-degree temperatures this week, and with that in mind, it could mean that it's an end to our at least freeze possibility. Usually it's the second week in February. There tends to be no freezes after that, and you can see some clouds and showers and snow showers moving through the Midwest. Well, it was cold in Minneapolis, but it was hot for the Eagles as they had a great victory there. 11 degrees in Chicago right now, Detroit at 17, Toronto at 18, 20 in Cleveland. And look at this, you factor in the wind chill, it's 5 there in Minneapolis, 0 in Chicago, and Cleveland warm 8 degrees. 52 in Atlanta, and Dallas, even a little sliver of cold air has slipped down there into Dallas. Well, east winds turn to the north. We'll start off at 10 knots, subsiding to 5 knots. Fog could be a problem for mariners in the morning. Be sure you have your sound device aboard. Seas running 2 feet or less with a light chop on the bays and inland waters. And now we get to the water temperature. It's at 63. The beaches will see a nice day, high of 74 degrees, and that it's a little bit cooler because the water temperature now is again at that temperature. Well, we're not expecting a 70% chance of rain, but temperatures will stay warm right through the weekend. We're expecting highs into the mid-70s, but we will see some upper 70s as well. Now, there's a slight chance for a shower or two on Sunday, but not much. Right now, that chance for showers is only at about 30%. Well, much more in the forecast coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Okay, Bob, thank you. Let's check first alert traffic. We're seeing some slowdowns on I-75 from just around Clark Road exit all the way north past Fruitville Road. You can see it's slow going, all red on the map tonight as you head north on the interstate. Jacqueline?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, women in heart health taking center stage this month. Here's ABC's Serena Marshall with more on what you should know.
Heart disease, the leading cause of death in women, higher even than cancer, which is why this month the American Heart Association is focusing on women's heart health. The campaign called Go Red for Women, and their message to women: understand your risk and take action. Heart experts urge women to know their cholesterol score, their blood pressure, and their body mass index, things that, if elevated, may increase their risk of heart disease and stroke. Diabetes, another threat affecting an estimated 30 million Americans, many of those women, and this condition too can affect the heart. The good news, there are things women can do to lower their risk. Lifestyle changes like healthy diet, weight loss, and frequent exercise, all of which reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke. So have a conversation with your doctor to make sure you are doing all you can to keep your heart in top shape. With this Medical Minute, I'm Serena Marshall, ABC News.
This year's flu season is said to be the worst in recent years, and it's not over yet. The good news is you still have time to protect yourself. If you're thinking there's no point in getting the flu shot now, think again. According to the FDA, the seasonal flu vaccine is the best way to lower your risk of getting sick and spreading it to others. Even though it's best to get vaccinated as soon as the flu shot is available, which is usually in September, getting the vaccine later can still be helpful. Every flu season is made up of varying strains of the virus. This year's dominant strain is H3N2. It has proven to be a challenge to the vaccine, but the flu shot is relatively more effective for other strains circulating throughout this year. And it can be frustrating to not feel like yourself, but not be able to pinpoint what the problem is. According to the Cleveland Clinic, thyroid issues can produce a variety of nonspecific symptoms that can make it difficult to zero in on what's behind them. Those symptoms could be the result of an underactive or overactive thyroid. For those with an underactive thyroid, Dr. Kellis says everything slows down, leaving people with symptoms like weight gain or swelling, decreased mood, and constipation. With an overactive thyroid, people tend to experience heart palpitations, anxiety, weight loss, or hair loss. Dr. Kellis says if lumps or bumps are found during a thyroid examination, further testing is done through a blood sample, and if necessary, a thyroid ultrasound may be done. Coming up, how Eagle fans destroyed the city while celebrating a Super Bowl win in Philadelphia. And a Suncoast advertising expert gives us his take on last night's Super Bowl's commercials.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
It's Greek time! February 8th through the 11th at the 34th Annual St. Barbara Greek Festival. Bring your family and friends. Treat yourself to authentic Greek home cooking and pastries. Plus, dance to traditional Greek music. Visit a marketplace filled with crafts and jewelry from local artisans. Children will enjoy the kids zone and everyone will have a good time. Bring your appetites and spend a day in Greece without leaving the area. The Greek Festival at St. Barbara Greek Orthodox Church just north of University Parkway, where Lockwood and Talevast roads meet. Yasu!
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Please join us in welcoming the two newest additions to the Lincoln lineup, our flagship luxury sedan, the 2018 Lincoln Continental, and the totally redesigned 2018 Lincoln Navigator, featuring 450 horsepower, 10-speed transmission, and many best-in-class features. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment, every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert Weather app now.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Well, the Eagles are the new world champions, but it's the puppies that have everyone buzzing.
Jeremy Roth has more in today's Take a Look at This.
So, yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles went on to win the Super Bowl, bringing the city its first ever championship and giving Eagles fans an excuse to act like Eagles fans. But the real story here is the Puppy Bowl. Animal Planet's annual adorable alternative to football was back for its 14th season, and with it, plenty of tail wagging hijinks. The bark-filled bowl ended with Team Fluff victorious over Team Rough, but come on, I think we're all winners here. Speaking of very good dogs, after being gone for 10 years, a runaway dog is back home safe and sound. Deborah Seierfeld says her dog Abby was last seen playing in the woods near her Apollo, Pennsylvania home. That was a decade ago. The family had all but given up on her. Fast forward to January 28th, when Abby showed up on a doorstep about 10 miles from home. That homeowner called authorities, and Abby was identified by her microchip. Now she's back where she belongs. While millions spent Super Bowl Sunday in front of the TV, these folks in California spent the day shoveling mud for someone they've never even met. It was all for Vicki Johnson of Montecito, whose home was damaged in the January mudslides. Volunteers with the Santa Barbara Bucket Brigade worked hard to salvage what they could. The group is a grassroots effort trying to help residents reclaim their losses. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Well, Philadelphia is cleaning up today after Super Bowl victory celebrations last night turned unruly in some areas. Rowdy Eagles fans smashing department store windows, looting a gas station convenience store, toppling a number of the city's famously greased light poles. Some of the fans clambered on top of the awning at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel near City Hall, jumping off into the crowd. That awning later collapsed with a large group of people on top of it. It's not clear if anyone was hurt, though. Windows were also smashed at a Macy's store and at an Old Navy clothing store. Despite all this madness, only 3 people were arrested, according to a spokeswoman for the mayor.
And an exciting part of the Super Bowl every year is, of course, the commercials. An ad featuring Giants quarterback Eli Manning and receiver Odell Beckham Jr. scored the highest in a national survey. The commercial was a spoof of the iconic scene from the movie Dirty Dancing and was supposed to show what other teams were doing that didn't make the Super Bowl. Now, we talked to a Suncoast marketing and advertising expert about last night's ads. He also liked this one the most, but said overall, none of the commercials last night will stand the test of time.
I don't think there was a big winner as a memorable commercial when we look ahead for another year. When people say, what are your top Super Bowl commercials, I don't think we'll see any of these in the top 5, quite frankly.
If you want to be important, wonderful.
And among the ads that scored the lowest, a commercial for a pickup truck that invoked the voice and message of slain civil rights leader Martin Luther King. Many viewers took to Twitter to say it was a disrespectful use of Dr. King's words and voice. Scott, did you have a favorite Super Bowl?
Well, the Giants won. Yeah, clearly Eli. It was weird because they would show these little snippets throughout the evening. I thought, what are they leading up to here? And then when we saw it, it was all.
Oh, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, nearly 36 manatees died last month due to Florida's cold weather. What wildlife officials are doing to try and keep that number down.
And why a recent study is sparking traffic concerns for a new hospital location in Venice.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
You shop around for the best prices on everyday products. But when it comes to your health care,
nobody has any idea what things cost.
Doctors and hospitals within blocks of each other charging different prices for the same procedure.
That doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make sense.
Investigator Lee Zarek exposes a secret some medical professionals don't want you to know and shows you how to put the purchasing power back in your hands. Costly Care, an ABC7 investigation tonight at 6.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Everyone likes the 2018 Honda Civic for $169 a month. You made Civic a best-selling compact car in America. You'll like Civic's 5-star safety ratings and that KBB.com named Civic a best buy and the most awarded car. Get the 2018 Civic at a payment you'll love. $169 a month today at your local Honda dealer.
Honda, I like it. Oh yeah, I like it.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.